What is up, and welcome back to another episode of Around the Monitor, the weekly gaming news talk show where every point you make in the discussion is a point towards winning. I'm your host, Zach, and the way things work here, we talk through the week's news in gaming. Every time somebody makes an interesting point or a good joke, they get an actual point, and whoever has the highest score at the end of the week wins for that show. Joining me once again, we've got the world number one Psychonaut 2, there's plurals on those words. We've got the world number one Psychonauts 2 fan, David.
I think you still got it wrong, but let E3 League Week begin, man.
Hey, we've got the Ace Attorney, Pridge.
Good evening.
We've got the hockey sticks and sickle herself, Elise.
First dose.
Nice.
Yeah.
And contrary to popular belief, it's not Connor. It's in fact Chris.
It's Thursday. You know what that means. Today is officially the first day of the summer of Kermit. That's right, baby. We got our shirt in.
It's beautiful.
Nice shirt, thanks. You can't really read it on stream, and I realize it's a problem, but it does say the summer of Kermit.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Shout out to Victoria for getting me this, and shout out to Nice Shirt Thanks for making this, and also putting a lot of effort into the Kermit. They got like the second dot on the eye. They gave him like the tongue flap and everything. Really extra work there by the folks. Respect for the Kermit.
And shout out to Mark, by the way.
No, fuck Mark.
I hope you're watching, Mark.
You say that, you say Mark Hamill, and then I go to get really mad, but then you finish it with Hamill with ton.
Yeah,
and I'm okay with it again.
And you're like, oh, right.
I don't have to beat Chris within an inch of his life for dissing Mark Hamill.
Our beautiful father.
I don't think I signed up for that.
Too late.
If this is your first time,
it wasn't optional.
If this is your first time watching the show, you can watch it live on twitch.tv/SaveDataTeam every Thursday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you are watching live, you can interact with the show by using the Twitch channel points to vote to give or take away points from people you agree or disagree with. Only 1 point per round, please. But if not, no worries. It goes up the very following day on our YouTube channel as well as podcast services, anywhere you like. But we always start the show with a trivia question to determine the order. And folks, just crawling back from the grave, against from all the odds, Atari somehow managed to get a headline in this show. What is it even called? The Atari
I have no
VCS?
idea.
Atari VCS, yeah.
VCR, I don't know what it does. But it is, from what I can tell, a fancy remake version, trying to ape the design of the Atari 2600, which is the most successful Atari console. My question to you all is
that saying a lot?
Well,
Probably.
you tell me, because my question is,
Okay.
how many copies has the Atari 2600 sold?
I assume you mean units.
Yes.
Otherwise, I
Units,
fully
yeah.
do not understand how the 2600 works.
No, this is the name of the. Yeah.
Do you happen to have the year that console released by any chance?
Yeah, I think I do.
It's late 80s.
It is 1977.
Or, sorry, I meant early 80s, but even earlier. Damn.
Originally
Yikes, I
priced
have
at $199,
no idea.
$199, which apparently is the equivalent of $850 in 2020.
Oh, I was gonna say it's
Jesus
not that
Christ.
bad.
Can you imagine?
Inflation's a bitch, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
And apparently
Seven-
it wasn't discontinued until 1992, which is insane.
I was gonna say it didn't sell very well, but then you said that.
Yeah, that's-
I mean, apparently they were making them for 15 years. So,
What the fuck do consoles
31
sell?
million units.
sorry, what was that?
31 million.
31 million.
It's either really high or a really good guess. I'm gonna go with 20 million.
20 million.
I'm going to say the Atari 2600 sold 2.6 million.
2.6 million.
I'm gonna give it 12 million.
12 million. Okay. Think it's about a Wii U as far as sales go.
That
I
classic
think it's better Wii
comparison.
U.
Amazingly, David was almost dead on. It's 30 million.
Fuck yeah.
Really?
which blew my goddamn
I mean,
mind.
I guess over
Listen,
15 years, it actually
also,
isn't that good.
That
but
was like
why?
that was just Atari and the NES back then. So like,
I mean, for 7 years of
Yeah.
that lifetime, it was just,
just
the
the
Atari.
Atari.
Okay, let's talk about this week's topics. We've got Herman Hulst, the PlayStation Studio boss, said a bunch of interesting things this week. Nintendo will be opening a museum dedicated to its properties in 2024. CD Projekt Red's quarter one of 2021 results are down 65%. Jamie Lee Curtis gave according to, if you believe Twitter, Jamie Lee Curtis gave us a sneak peek at Cate Blanchett's Lilith in the upcoming Borderlands movie. We finally have a schedule for E3, and it looks mostly normal. Just interesting final thoughts before we get a bajillion leaks about what is happening. In a stark contrast from what they said last week, Far Cry 6 narrative director came out and said that no, the game is in fact political, shocking nobody. This one's for the Zoomers out there. Dream, the YouTube juggernaut, admitted that he cheated on his world record Minecraft speedrun. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade save transfers are not super smart. Apparently, Tesla cars have enough power to run Cyberpunk 2077, even though the PlayStation 4 didn't. I don't know, y'all. Elon Musk, that's a joke, right? Dark Horse Comics have established their own gaming division. As mentioned before, that Atari console, the Atari VCS, is coming out in less than 2 weeks, and it's going to cost $300. Who's buying this thing? And going off last week's reports, and going off last week's reports of the Nintendo Switch Pro being announced imminently, there was a listing that appeared very briefly on Amazon Mexico. Is this a slam dunk confirmation that this will be coming out next year? I believe the correct order will be David, followed by Chris, followed by Elise, followed by Pridge. David, what would you like to talk about for the first topic of the show?
Let's talk about PlayStation's blog before E3 because they don't want to show up to E3.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
So PlayStation released a blog this week, which was basically just a bunch of questions they asked the head of PlayStation Studios, Herman Hulst.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't really have a super order or anything to it. It was just question, answer.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like the place where they put pseudo bad news and stuff that they didn't want to make like a real announcement about. They just dumped it all into here before E3 in the hopes that it would just like get caught up with everyone reporting leaks and people would just ignore it, talk about it for 3 minutes and then move on. There was a lot of info in here, honestly.
Yeah.
It was just all kind of hidden. So some of the big points, God of War 2, Ragnarok, whatever the hell you want to call it, officially delayed till 2022. I don't think a single one of us thought that game had a chance in hell of coming out this year.
Absolutely
nor did
not.
anyone on the planet.
Yeah.
So that wasn't shocking. Additionally, Gran Turismo 7 and God of War are both going to be cross-gen, which was new. I think a lot of us were operating on the assumption that God of War at least was going to be PS5 exclusive. This makes me sad. Mainly for the gameplay design issues that will come from it having to run on PS4. And really the stuff that sticks out the most to me for that is if you played God of War 2018, you know there are a lot of shimmying in between some fucking rocks, picking up pillars that have randomly fallen on a pathway that you could probably just hop over since you're a literal God of War.
Hey, guess how much time we're going to spend walking through that weird blue dimension thing.
Yeah, so
my God.
I mean, the PS5 will reduce some of those speeds, but like the ones that are built in, like lifting up a pillar so your little son can crawl under it or whatever, that's still going to be there. You can't speed that up because it's on PS5.
Right.
So that sort of stuff annoys me. Or not annoys. I'm disappointed because I thought we would move past it and the next one would be like
look at how cool
truly
this
next
is.
gen. Yeah, truly next gen. Truly like, hey, we can use solid state drives with abandon, like reckless abandon, and just go for it. So I'm kind of disappointed in it. I'm not super shocked. There's still like over 100 million PS4s out there, and Sony likes money,
and less than 10 million PS5s out there.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
and about 72 PlayStation 5s.
pretty much. So like, I'm not shocked. It's just like, damn. I guess we're gonna have to wait for the next God of War game, assuming one comes out in this generation after this one. So I'm a little sad about that. Gran Turismo, I'm not a car guy. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Let's see. They also had some info on Horizon where Herman Hulst pretty much said like, we're not 100% sure it's gonna hit holiday, which was interesting. They said they were pretty confident they were gonna hit it, but not like 100% sure, which is why they haven't given a date yet, which I appreciate them being blunt about it, but that's a fun thing to just hide in a Q&A. Good job, Sony.
It fucking scares the shit out of my fantasy league, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's not coming out. Well, and I imagine they're also, with the Switch Pro rumors, they're more worried about having Horizon come out within a week of
See, I was
Breath of the Wild again.
I actually think they want to make sure that it's probably like very close to ready, but they have to make sure it's perfect because nobody wants to be the first person to do it after Cyberpunk. Nobody wants to be it.
I mean, like the Sony games in general have a really good level of polish. I don't think I've seen a first-party game come out in a really long time that was like sketchy.
Totally.
That's just not something Sony does. But like,
that's probably true.
I mean, Days Gone is the only
had
one.
really bad load times.
Sorry.
Is the most like technical fuck up I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, I just imagine COVID, we know from interviews and stories, hit AAA studios a lot harder than it did indies and AA's. So like, I imagine a lot of it's COVID. They do a lot of mocap that AA and indie studios don't do, and getting mocap, they talk about it in this Q&A. Like mocap was one of the big reasons why they had to delay games out of last year. Was
right.
The mocap stuff is just very difficult to do. They set up some rigs like in people's homes and stuff like that, but it's not ideal. And like to hit their quality levels, they have to do it in a studio. And some other just quick hits. Ben Studio, they announced that Ben Studio is going to be working on a new original IP. So I guess Sony wanted to get that news out there because we and other people were like, please don't just only make Last of Us, please, dear God. So that's good news. And I think they pretty much just doubled down too on like, we want to put more games on PC. And like, while at the same time, PlayStation will be the first and best place to play our games. But I think they're going to do a lot more PC ports. I think Horizon's been doing pretty well. Days Gone did pretty decently. Death Stranding did well on PC. So more of those coming in the future.
Yeah. It was the thing where, like you said, there were so many little details that he threw into this like information dump that I was gonna like put a headline to this, and I was like, I can't just make it about one thing. I'll just say Herman Hulst said a bunch of shit and people reacted to it. So,
one last thing too. It seems like they're building up Team Asobi, the people that made the Astrobot series, both games, Playroom and Rescue Mission. So it sounds like they're beefing him up. They gave him a new logo after this Q&A, which had like got Astrobot in the logo. So pretty sure we're gonna be getting a lot more Astrobot, which I am all for because those games are good.
Yeah,
mini mascot.
That character kicked ass, or that game kicked ass. Chris, what would you like to talk about for your first topic?
We're going to do two unprecedented things here. First of all, we're going to talk about the topic of the stream.
Whoa.
I know. What a concept. And also, that means we're going down the line because that's the second topic in the whole list.
Wow.
So those scamps, those Nintendogs, Shiggy and the gang, they're making the Nintendo Museum actually, which I think is really cool, in the original factory that produced the Nintendo cards, like that when they used to make Menko cards. You know, everyone's favorite Japanese game, Menko. I know nothing about the game. But anyway, yeah, they're converting that facility into a museum that is going to go through like all the history of Nintendo. The actual term they used is it's going to showcase its product development history and philosophy to the public, which kind of sounds like a cult thing, but let's not worry about that. I think this is dope because like as far as like so I'm currently reading Ascawada, which is like his memoir transcribed and like edited by Hobonichi. And it has a lot of the background stuff behind Nintendo that you should, like as far as like a lot of companies go, Nintendo is pretty private about all their backdoor shit.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you to know about the dark deeds it takes to make Mario go. And they won't even confirm that Kirby is named after that Kirby dude. For Christ's sake. But I'm very interested to see a lot of like the background stuff behind Nintendo and see their take on their history. And also, like, I mean, I went and found a different press release about this because the IGN was pretty bare bones. And it talks a little bit about the information is varied. There's not a lot of information here.
Mm-hmm.
But they did say they're dedicating like parts of the museum to the individual like stories that got certain like franchises to where they are. As well as like talking about like basically every Nintendo franchise gets its own little zone, which is dope and all. I'm very interested to see how they like justify, like, oh hey, this is F-Zero, and then it wasn't.
I was gonna make that joke. Yeah, I can't wait to see how small the F-Zero wing is. It's just a fucking janitor closet.
The bathroom, gotta piss fast.
You think F-Zero is actually getting a zone or anything?
Yeah, that's the thing. They didn't say like no point does it say F-Zero is gonna be there.
Yeah, right.
And welcome to the wing dedicated to our one and only racing franchise, Mario Kart. Our one and only racing franchise.
But yeah, I mean, in a week of no news, this is dope, and it's 2024, so it's gonna come relatively soon. Can't say I'll be flying out to Japan to go to it, but I hope to God when I go to Japan, it is there. I'm also very excited. I would like to hear more about the corporate deals they made. I know Nintendo's not gonna want to talk about it, but boy, I want to hear about that failed Nintendo PlayStation. I want to hear about all the shit they had to do to get certain characters in Smash, like Kermit for Smash. That's right, motherfuckers. In the summer of Kermit, there's no Goofy joke. It's all Kermit. You got baited.
I hate you so much. Yeah, no, it's really cool. It'll be interesting to see what things they're willing to put in there.
Yeah.
I definitely think we'll get like the design documents of like the original Super Mario Bros. 1-1. Like they've shown those before in like a video, but like stuff like that is really cool.
I would expect, because Nintendo really likes jerking themselves about tech and they love peripherals. I would expect a massive like wing about showing like here's how the Virtual Boy works. Here's that Game Boy that was bombed in the Gulf War.
Fun fact: that's in New York City. I've seen it several times.
Yeah. It's at the New York Nintendo store. Mm-hmm. Not for long.
Yeah, probably. We've got Dan as a nerd gives a point to Chris. I could probably give a lot of the tour with how much I know about Nintendo history, but I would love to go anyways. And Halucha gives a point to Chris for the F-Zero joke. Dwarf Star gives a point to Pridge for the Mario Kart joke.
F-Zero, unfortunately, is a joke.
Yeah.
So this thing's supposed to be done by March 2024. So save data goes to Japan 2024.
I would love to.
Fucking do it.
I would love to do that. Elise, what would you like to talk about for your first topic of the show?
Let's talk about Dream.
Hey, there we go.
I'm sure this won't get me in any trouble with the Dream stands, who we just hope aren't watching this show.
I'm sure they're not watching this show. Come on.
Dream is, I think, like one of the most popular streamers of all time now. He speedran Minecraft. Like, that's just, from world generation to beating the end boss. And he does like a Minecraft manhunts where he gets like viewers and other streamers stuff to get on the show and try to kill him in Minecraft, and he needs to survive.
It's actually kind of fun idea.
And then he's got like the Dream SMP, which is like a huge server with a bunch of people that the kids love it.
The kids love it. Exactly.
It's just like a Minecraft, let's play series with all sorts of different people. I've never watched the guy.
Same.
The first I'd ever heard of him was hearing that he cheated way back when.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw him blow up and I'm like, wait, the cheater? Essentially what happened here is Dream, a couple months ago, by a couple months ago, I mean, like, I think it was last summer.
I think it was like 9 months ago.
Or last fall. Yeah. Was speedrunning Minecraft around the release of 1.16, which is the most recent, like, large update to Minecraft. And he got, like, the world record time. But then on analysis, people saw, like, wait, your RNG for things like trading with people to get specific items, for making the portal to the end, the drop rates of that, and the drop rates of the blaze rods, which he also needs by killing specific enemies. If you don't know Minecraft, you just kill some like end game enemies. You need a bunch of those as well. The drop rates of those were way higher than they should be, without like manipulation. So people were very suspicious, and after not long, the like mods of speedrun.com took all of his runs down because it was basically impossible. There was a whole back and forth between like academics. It's like some people that didn't like Dream or were suspicious of that hired some academics to go over the math of why this was impossible. And then Dream hired a professor or got a professor. I'm not sure if it was like hired or volunteer work to respond to that. And the professor that Dream hired was bad at his job apparently because he did a really bad job. He did bad at the thing, at the math. And just this week, the news this week is that Dream admitted to cheating. Basically, what Dream said, his story, his side of the story, that he's saying, how much of it we believe is up to you, is that he has mods for, he has like luck mods for his other streams, for things like his survival Minecraft or multiplayer, for his manhunt streams, things like that, for his like builds and everything, which makes sense.
Totally.
It makes the streams better, lets him get content out faster. Sure. And his story is that they started transitioning some of that stuff from client side to server side with like the help of his mods, and he was playing on the server that had like some of these mods that were getting set up for use just for the whole server. And that's the server that he was playing his speedruns on.
Why would
and he didn't turn off those mods. You actually, I think, have to speedrun on a server for it to be
interesting.
Oh.
It needs to be online for it to be like
Verification
on
purposes, yeah, I guess it's
speedrun.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for people to cheat. when it's not.
So his excuse is that he left his Game Shark in.
Yeah, essentially.
For basically, yeah.
Yeah, fuck off.
It's the thing. It's the thing where like, hey, I'm willing to say maybe this guy is telling the truth, and then he did forget, and he played it that way, and he was like, "Oh shit." But for him to sit there and lie about this for 9 months while his fucking fans buried everybody who said he was a liar, that's some horse shit.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Dream fans are legion, they're scary, and they have a penchant for death threats.
Yeah.
To
the internet.
pretty much anyone that speaks that.
Yeah.
And Dream basically, he said, "Oh yeah, we don't like death threats here." Like once. Maybe twice.
Oh, jeez, dude.
And then did nothing at all to help any of the people that were like getting bombarded by Dream stands. Did nothing. It basically went radio silent on the whole thing. And he's known that he cheated for at least a while.
Yeah.
Whether it was from the beginning or from like a couple months later, whatever it is. He knew that he cheated. He could have nipped this in the bud so much quicker. Just a fun, like addition to this story, fun ending, is that after he admitted this, just a couple days ago, I think, I believe it was Small Ant 1, started like just for fun speedrunning Minecraft with the mods that Dream used. And
shit.
It's
very good.
Within like a couple hours,
did he beat the
Dream's
record?
time.
Fuck, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Oh.
I think it was Small Ant. I might be getting the streamer.
I mean, Small Ant's a pretty prolific speedrunner, so I believe it. And user of mods.
Yeah, he has mods pretty well.
Yeah, Dwarfstar in the chat says, I'm a statistician. Where can I see the math? David dropped that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've seen like a video talking about it, and basically like in the context of the normal game, the drop rates that he got would have had to have been like a 1 in like something million chance that his run would have gone this well.
I also posted the response, which is supposedly written by a Harvard statistic expert and practicing astrophysicist. So
if you're interested in the math, I really recommend checking out what's his name? Stand Up Maths on YouTube. Did a really good video, or two actually, about the
whole situation.
The math around this, like the statistics.
Yeah, it's you summed it up really well, and it's just like, yeah, dude, why would you stay quiet about this so long? Just admit that you fucked up.
Yeah. Hey, can you guys see the top of this hole? It's really dark here at the bottom of this hole.
Yeah, well, I can't reach the top, so I think I'm just gonna keep digging for a bit.
Right. Maybe.
I'm actually just gonna hide under this big pile of coats and hope this all blows over.
God damn it, Chris.
Never fails.
Really quick. Halucha in the chat gives a point to Elise. Defend Elise from dreamers at all costs. Is that what they're called? Dream fans, the dreamers.
They really shouldn't.
I mean, that would make sense.
That's
they really should, because that's what we call it DACA.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they shouldn't, but when has that stopped?
They sound
that. Hey,
gamers,
David.
Period.
Yeah, you're right.
They sound like real nightmares to me.
Let's get some booze in the chat for Zach.
All right. Anyway, I gotta go.
On that note, Pridge, please give us your first topic of the show.
So how you guys left me the only topic I actually want to talk about. So
nice.
Thank you all for that.
Look at that.
Totally intentional.
Totally intentional.
100% intended.
All right, guys. Let's ask the big questions.
Oh, no.
Is a game where the developers talk to Cuban revolutionaries that takes place on a Cuba-inspired island and involves a revolution against a fascist government? Is that game political?
Clearly not. Wait, what week?
Absolutely not.
Depends what week it is.
The answer may surprise you. So I think this was last week. Someone on the dev team for Far Cry 6 from everyone's favorite company, Ubisoft.
Love them.
Everyone's favorite and very politically conscious company, Ubisoft. Basically made a statement that Ubisoft was not trying to make a political statement about... Well, basically was not trying to make Far Cry 6 a political game. Which is absolutely laughable because, as I mentioned, the game is about an island. The island is fictional. It's called Yara, but it's based on Cuba. That's just straight up admitted. And it basically involves you joining a guerrilla resistance to start a revolution and overthrow a fascist dictator. Not only that, the narrative people on the game spoke to actual revolutionaries to help write the story. So it seems like a pretty dumb statement. It's not that, it doesn't really matter if Ubisoft was trying to make a political statement. They are. You can't write this game without it making some sort of political statement by literal nature of its existence. So in comes Far Cry 6 narrative director Navad Kavari, who basically, like a smart person, made things pretty unequivocally clear. And he said, Far Cry 6 is a political game. Again, and in his words, a story about a modern revolution has to be political. And he went on to say that Far Cry will discuss topics like fascism, imperialism, forced labor, LGBTQ plus rights, free elections, all the sorts of things that tend to arise when you have that tend to, become discussion points when you have a fascist dictator in your game. And again, Ubisoft has been for a while now trying to play on this line where they state their games aren't political, despite them using a ton of situations that sort of necessitate social commentary. Yet they keep trying to have it both ways by saying they're not. I mean, even the past Far Cry games have taken place in scenarios that sort of lend themselves to some sort of messaging. And Ubisoft just tries to pretend like they don't. Except they do. And again, it's fair to say they're not trying to talk about Cuba specifically.
Right.
And even though it's inspired by that, they're not trying to make a statement on what they feel about Cuba's current political climate. I get that. Because they probably, even if they talk about it, they probably don't want to start actually basically saying, very specific things. But in this setting, you're going to be making general statements, general points, and talking about things that just... You can't escape that there are political ramifications for these. And the reality is, game companies, and again, this is not just Ubisoft, because other game companies do this, game companies have to stop being scared of saying their games are political. Stop, I know there are some dark corner of the gameverse that, bitch and complain about that constantly, but... That same corner bitches and complains when there's a single gay option in a video game. So don't ignore those people. They're the worst. Just ignore them, please.
It's so frustrating. I mean, here's the thing. I 100% think them trotting this person out to say this is them saying, oh, hey, I think that the tides have changed enough that we actually will get rewarded by the public for saying that our game is making a political statement.
Yep.
That being said, it's still a net positive, so it's like I'm not mad, I guess.
Also, it's I'm glad that they're admitting it because obviously it is, but also this statement fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's
the actual politics of this statement is bad.
Agreed. Will in the chat,
this game's gonna suck.
Says can't wait for the non-political Capitol riots game. Jeez.
Oh no! Oh, someone actually tweeted that. I have to find the exact tweet because it's utterly phenomenal. Hold on, I have it saved.
Well, what's the statute of limitations on that one before you can make a game? What is that, a year or two before it opens up?
If you ask Ubisoft, it's like a month or two.
Yes,
that's why they had to delay Rainbow Six Quarantine so long.
I'm stealing this from a tweet I saw. The year is 2024. Ubisoft's preparing to release Tom Clancy's January 6th, The Capitol Insurrection, an Ubisoft original. They insist it is not making a political statement. Previews say the guns feel good.
Jesus.
Ubisoft literally cannot escape their own bullshit.
My only critique for that tweet is they got the name of the game slightly wrong. It's Tom Clancy's Rainbow January 6th.
Shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
good.
so good.
That was really good.
Amazing.
Oh, that's good.
Give this man a record deal.
I gave him a point. I can do that.
Okay, that's better. I'll take it. It's much more reasonable.
Halucha in the chat gives a point to Pridge for speaking the truth. Video game companies got to stop pandering to whiny apolitical gamers who only want to see their own politics. Yeah.
I'll conclude this with one final point. Nearly all art is political. Get over it.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
People only complain when it's the politics they don't like.
100%.
You cannot make a game about shooting guns at a government and it not be political in some way. I don't care. I don't care if it's in fucking Zanzibar land from Metal Gear Solid. It's still fucking political, no matter what you do.
Famous apolitical game, Metal Gear
I know,
Solid.
whatever.
Exactly.
But you can make up all the countries you fucking want. You can change all the names you want. It's still political.
Yep. 100%.
Don't care.
Going back around in the order, David, what would you like to talk about for your second topic of the show? And I will insist we go a little bit faster this time.
That's fine. You know what?
It's not like the rest of the topics are good anyways. So
let's talk about the E3 quote unquote schedule being revealed.
There we go.
Now, listen. I'm happy E3 is back. if for the only reason being all these fucking conferences are all just happening within 4 days, and I don't have to pay attention to Twitter the night before to see when people announce their freaking press conference that starts at 8 a.m. my time the next day. I don't like that. That part sucks. So I'm glad that it's just like, hey, there's 4 days. There's going to be a ton of conferences. If you have time, pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that sucks about this is E3 released their quote-unquote schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, hey, E3 is happening between June 12th and June 15th. Things we already knew. Cool. And next they're like, hey, it's being hosted by Alex Goldenboy Mendez, cool person. Jackie Jing, cool person. Greg Miller, cool people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Also already knew this.
Mm-hmm.
None of this is new information. And then they're like, here's a schedule of when all these conferences are. Except most of the conferences don't have times.
Yeah.
How is this a schedule? All right. They're like, okay, you know what? Here are the times for these conferences that already got announced. They're like, hey, Ubisoft's June 12th at like 10 a.m. Pacific or some crap like that.
Mm-hmm.
And June 13th, Microsoft and Bethesda already announced.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, hey, Square Enix's conference is on June 13th. And up until I think a couple hours after this article was posted, we didn't know what time it was.
Yeah.
Gearbox is apparently doing a conference on the 12th. We don't know when. Devolver's somewhere in here, maybe. They said they were
they're in the mix.
participating. Nintendo's like, yeah, it's on June 15th.
Yeah.
Cool. Bandai Namco, June 15th. Like, all of these companies, like, the ESA just fucked up so much as, like, the producer of this whole event. Like, just tell these companies, hey, here are the dates you have to work with. Here are the slots that people have already claimed for times. Pick a slot, and we will announce what the schedule is this day. If you want to get on the hype train and announce your schedule before then, great. Otherwise, we're just going to fucking post it.
Mm-hmm.
And they just don't have the balls to do it. I don't understand how they, like, I'm still grateful to them for putting this together and, like, sort of getting people on board. But, like, clearly a lot of these people are, like, halfway on board and having to be, like, dragged the rest of the way kicking and screaming onto the fucking ferry to get to conference land. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's
Pull them on board, announce the times so we can just schedule stuff and let's be done with it.
we are barely more than a week away from the first
It's a week!
conference, and like the idea that they put out this press release today and they said it's on the it's the duty of the presenters to give to announce the times that their conferences are happening, which, hey, I get that you don't want to say that, but like give
them a deadline and then just do it.
How are you not how is this not set in stone already? Chris, what would you like to talk about for the your second topic of round 2?
I hate to give it more breath on this fucking show, but unfortunately,
Do
it's
it.
time yet again to talk about fucking Cyberpunk. God, this is probably the most talked about singular thing on this channel. That or racism, which is surprising considering we are a video games news podcast. But hey, man, the fucking hand that feeds, right?
Life finds a way.
Okay. Life finds a way. The cosmic ballet goes on. All right, CD Projekt Red's Q1 profits came out for the 2021, and oh boy. Well, so the first article I saw was CD Projekt Red's the profits missed the mark for first quarter, and I was like, that doesn't seem that bad. And I kept scrolling through Twitter, like you do. And the next one I saw, I believe it was from our good boy Jeffrey Grubb, and it was like, CD Projekt Red is down 2/3 of their total profit. And I was like, excuse you?
Yeah, that's a bad look.
Yeah, so they lost a lot of money. So not all of it, surprisingly so, from the refunds. They in fact didn't lose that much money from people refunding Cyberpunk at all. They did lose a lot of money from no one buying this fucking game because everyone heard of how much of a shit show it was. And they definitely also blew their own projections out by saying it'll be fine. People are gonna want to buy this game, and then they didn't.
Yeah.
And I mentioned earlier how like I'm thinking that Sony's at least somewhat like mortified of like Horizon and Ratchet & Clank have to come out perfect, otherwise they're gonna get it.
Oh, I think everybody's feeling that right now.
Yes, but like no one else has really released a AAA since. It's been that long. God, it's been.
Can you imagine how fucking stressed Microsoft is about Halo Infinite not coming out?
Yeah, exactly. So like nobody wants to be the first one. We've done a full fucking circle. We're back to the console. Like nobody wants to show their dick with the price. But right now, it's nobody wants to release a AAA game because they don't want to feel the wrath of Khan from the internet.
Not the sentence, show their dick with a price. What a terrible sentence.
Hey man, that's what we do around here. Just like Dave Matthews Band. Around here.
Sure.
That joke tracks. Don't worry
No.
it does. Anyway, sorry. God damn it. CDPR Red is gonna have to work their fucking asses off to get out of this hole. And as we saw last week we probably should have talked about that this week. Let's talk right now. They showed on Twitter their new timeline for this game, which isn't a timeline.
Yep.
It is it doesn't have any times listed on it,
Nope.
and it just has
just a line.
bullet points.
It's not a
It's just
timeline. It's a line.
It's a line with dots on it that tell you when things happen. They have to No Man's Sky the fuck out of this game. And like it's gonna cost them money. I don't think there's a single way for them to make money off Cyberpunk 2077 anymore. I think it's a lost cause, but they have to dump money into this pit enough that they can walk over the pit. Because otherwise, the internet's never gonna let them live it down. They're gonna ride them for years, and it's just simply going to suck.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know what the hell they can do. But
abandon a ship
again. The game still sold over 13 million copies, which is wild. But
I mean,
that's crazy to me.
I mean, they wanted to sell more. They wanted the super game.
You're right. This was the super game, and it failed. I wonder if it'll work out for Sega. Tune back in 2024.
Everybody's forgetting about the super game.
Elise, what would you like to talk about for your second topic of the show?
Let's talk about this Atari console.
Hey, somebody had to do it.
So I think it was last week we brought this up.
I legitimately forgot about it.
And it was the question of the show.
No, I know. We talked about it very recently.
And I think the consensus we came to is that this thing didn't exist.
Yeah.
This thing was canceled. And then this week, they're like, yeah, it's going to be $400 US. With including the controller and classic joystick, which each are $60.
Like a normal controller.
Yeah, but for
a real console.
For a real console. Does this thing look great? Yeah, it looks incredible.
It's cute.
It's cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's really slick. I would, if I cared about what my living room looked like,
I would put it somewhere.
I would put it somewhere. I would put it in a place of pride. Is it a $400 US glorified Atari only emulation device? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, 100%. You can get this much functionality and way more for what does a Raspberry Pi go for these days? Like $50-$60?
I feel like
probably cheaper than
I could buy one from Walmart for
I would say
$5
cheaper,
at their bakery.
Okay.
God damn it, Zach.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry, everybody.
You can buy a Raspberry Pi.
Enlighten me. I actually don't know what a Raspberry Pi is. What are we talking about?
It's basically
it's
very
basically
simple,
just a tiny computer.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a tiny, cheap computer. They're used for personal projects, for things that just need a little tiny computer on them, for controlling, robots and electronics and stuff.
Fair enough, because I was about to say that's one fucking expensive piece of fruit pie.
Yeah, but they're also they make really good retro emulation little devices. They're just a little PCB with a CPU, a tiny CPU on it that go for I don't know $50 or so. And they can play pretty much any 2D retro emulation. They might even be able to play some fucking like PS1 or something.
Yeah,
like they're
it's the thing where
relatively
like
powerful for what you get.
you don't need a fucking high-tech thing to play Atari games. As stated before, this console was made in 1977. Why is this $400?
It's been a while.
Hey, you know,
The,
adjusted for
when you get the
inflation, the
console-
Atari 2600 is $800. I mean,
So mad.
you're getting a good deal.
So mad.
when you get the console,
man's got a
it
point.
goes- it'll have 100 retro Atari games. And the fucking like president of Atari said, "But be warned, that means 18 arcade games and 82 Atari 2600 games, many of which are so incredibly basic that they don't hold up to the mildest scrutiny in 2021." So like,
What a
before
statement!
They even sell this thing.
Why would you
Before
say
they even
that?
Sell this thing.
The-
Hey, don't
They're like, yeah,
don't
this
buy
shit's
my thing.
this
smart.
person
By the
literally
way,
said.
my games suck, by the way.
This person literally said the games are ass, but
but we're pretty cool.
There's so many games
They're
on
hoping
it. Mind
for-
you, a bunch of them suck.
what the fuck?
Just wait for it to
Yeah,
go on sale
I'll-
like everybody else is gonna do.
Or just don't buy it.
I think what they're hoping for is this is like a relatively powerful thing. But what it is like it's either a glorified emulation device or an Ouya. And I'm not sure which is worse.
And that's the problem. Is like
Oh yeah.
all the other like retro gaming consoles, like the Super Nintendo remake or whatever the hell it was called, the mini Super Nintendo was like $70-$80. Why isn't this that? Instead, they're like, no, it's going to be a $400
Yeah,
like
that's what they
actual
should
computer thing. And I'm like, you don't need that. We just want an
It does
Atari.
look really nice, and the controller also looks nice, but that ain't enough to
Right. I'm not-
solve this
Also,
problem.
just a reminder to everyone, you can buy Atari collections on like every console for like $15-$20
Yeah.
that have all of these games on them.
Oh.
if you've got like a PC or a phone or like
Don't you have
anything that has a
phones?
CPU in it,
It's baffling.
if you have anything that has a CPU in it, you can play these games like right now.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, I think they're hoping people will develop games for this, but that's not gonna happen.
No.
It's just like, listen, if I want to play games somebody's developed that are like retro or whatever, I can go to itch.io and play them for free or pay them directly. I want to fucking buy a $400 goddamn piece of shit Atari wannabe. Like, it's so baffling. You had one job, Atari, and you might have
Let's get
sold
that.
stuff.
It does look really nice.
I'm not
Okay.
taking away from that. But
Question, legitimate question. What is worse?
Yeah.
The Atari VCS or the Atari Hotel in Las Vegas?
oh, that's a tough call.
The VCS. I can have
At
sex in the
least
Atari
hotel is a hotel.
Damn it, Chris. That was really good. Really quick. Halucha gives Pridge a point for asking the question about Raspberry Pi because he also was confused but pretended to know. So asking the hard-hitting facts out here, Pridge. Thank you for that. But it is time for the final topic, and Pridge, it is all yours. What would you like to talk about?
All right, I'm gonna pick this topic pretty much because I only have one joke about it.
Okay. Bold
We're gonna
move.
roll with it. All right. Apparently, Tesla cars have enough graphical horsepower to play 2077.
Yes.
Graphical
Play
horsepower is a
Cyberpunk
very good term.
2077.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna set this up real simply. Cyberpunk 2077, when it was released, had a bunch of bugs on it.
Mhm.
Tesla, they try and make self-driving cars, but they're not that good yet. So this is the match made in heaven because it's two things that like to crash a lot.
Hey!
Got it. Shot and chaser. Yeah, I actually don't have much more to say besides that. I don't know why we keep getting reports that Teslas can play video games. No one cares. No one's buying a car to play a video game. Teslas are dumb. They're not the first electric car. Other people were doing it first.
Literally only Elon Musk cares about this.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Does it?
90% of Elon Musk's ideas are all bad. Please stop protecting him, weird internet people.
I wonder which of them has better driving AI though.
I was gonna say, who do we think has the worst fan base, Elon Musk or Dream?
Elon
Elon
Musk.
Musk.
No, it's Elon
Elon
Musk.
Musk.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
Undeniably
I'm
Elon
sorry.
Musk.
I'm sorry. Last time I checked, Dream doesn't own blood diamond mines.
Yeah, that's not working.
Dream hasn't tried to
Blood
bust
emerald
unions.
mines.
I'm sorry. It's emeralds. Excuse me. You're correct.
It's the Chaos Emeralds.
Oh my god.
The Musk
Elon Musk
family
confirmed
chaos
Sonic
emeralds.
Stan.
God damn it.
Elon Musk confirmed Dr. Eggman. Only I like Dr. Eggman much, much more.
Yes.
God damn it. It's really good.
I literally didn't have anything to say on this topic. I just wanted to make a two things that crash a lot joke.
No, you nailed it. You nailed
I'm
it.
done.
Still won.
Yeah. That is going to do it for this week's episode, which does mean David, Elise, and Chris, it's time to go home and become family people because this week's winner is Pridge. Pridge, are you ready for your minute to win it?
Sure.
Take it away.
So I started playing God of War, the 2018 one, a little bit ago, like last week. And you know what? Norse mythology is kind of cool. Like, obviously, I know a little bit about Norse mythology, but the most popular thing containing Norse mythology is the MCU, which is not a great place to learn cool things about mythology. So it's kind of been fun playing God of War because I've heard of some of these things, and obviously God of War is not a direct retelling of Norse mythology, but like you see a lot of turns to Norse mythology show up in a lot of different games. And it's cool to see like where, at least in some loose sense, how they actually fit together in real Norse mythology. So yeah, we need more video games that explore non-Greek mythology. I love Hades. Hades is great, but we need more video games to talk about other mythology. Where's my game where I get to play as Anubis?
Hell yeah. Egyptian mythology has really fallen out of vogue. I feel like about 10 years ago, like it was in everything, and now it's you don't see it as much.
We need Brandon Fraser back.
People like that Percy Jackson money.
Yeah, Percy Jackson money. That's very true.
Do Percy Jackson movies make any money?
No, but the books made a fuck ton, and they teach Greek mythology in schools because white people did it.
I was gonna say I think the movies.
But white people did Norse mythology too.
Yeah, but not the kind we like, Pridge.
They're from Scandinavia. They're the whitest.
It's too white
It's
for
too
white
white.
America.
Damn it.
Oh god.
It's a perfect middle ground.
That is going to do it for this week's episode of Around the Monitor. Things to talk about. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow with some more Save Data Cast. David, would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, we're going to do something a little different. So Save Datacast tomorrow is going to be essentially game reviews. That's going to be the whole thing. So we're going to talk about Knockout City, as a bunch of us have been playing it. I'll be talking about Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I think we'll have some other games to talk about too. So tune in. Should be a fun discussion.
Heck yeah. Resident Evil 8.
That's the one I was forgetting, yeah.
No worries. We also, if you don't know, we're doing a playthrough of Pokemon Emerald as a Nuzlocke run. That's me, Chris, and Jason. That streams every Monday night on twitch.tv/SaveDataTeam, as well as the VODs going up the following Sunday on our YouTube channel. We're 5 episodes in, so if you haven't started it at all, there's a lot to catch up on.
We have still inexplicably not lost a Pokemon.
Amazingly, considering the way last week's stream ended. Oh my god. It was real.
It was a roller coaster of emotions.
White knuckle ride. Let's see here. Chris is also making a Pokemon. Well, Chris, David, and Jason are making a Pokemon game based on our community and the in-jokes we have here. Chris, would you like to talk about that for a brief moment?
Yes. So Pokemon Data is our very own Pokemon project. We're, as Zach said, David, Jason, and myself are working on it. We are currently working on getting the map good and pretty for all y'all. Not gonna lie, haven't worked on it this week. I've been incredibly busy. I got a job this week. Get off my back. But yeah, we are slowly working on that. And if you'd like to be in it and be a part of it and be a trainer that fights Zach and possibly kills him, you can join us in our Discord. Check out the #Secret Project, or just join us on Patreon. Support us at any level, and you can be in the game as a trainer and do stuff.
Pay money
Not kill
to
Zach
kill
Pokemon.
me.
Kill actual Zach.
Yeah, the Wingle.
The Wingle, exactly. Dan.
Dan sign art is Dan.
Other things to talk about. Hey, if you don't know about our Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney stream. We just finally finished the first game this week. Holy shit, we actually did it. It only took us about 6 months, so that's crazy. We will be starting next week with the second game in the series, as well as having the what is it, May stream rewards of having us all be in maid outfits. So that's going to happen next week. Be excited for that.
Nice.
A lot to unpack there.
A lot to unpack there.
Elise or Pridge, anything you'd like to plug this week?
No, apparently you might get to see me in a maid outfit on Wednesday. That's all I got to plug.
Weehaw. But that's going to do it for this week's folks. So until next time, this has been Around the Monitor.